Nejo Odibowani ko se blowa. Ekene Maria Egypt na Gracia o se blowa no nyeli idengos next boronine others ngos kuma forgive Jesu. Maria deso nenke chuku yabana ndinja yo kitana malawani amen. Okwe melaro o ebile nani. Ekene Maria Egypt na Gracia o se blowa no nyeli idengos next boronine others ngos kuma forgive Jesu. Maria deso nenke
guys, like, subscribe, and share, right? Thank
Amen.
Onye nwe anyị nọnyere ụlọ ka Chineke dị ike niile gọzie ụlọ nna na nwa na mmụọ nsọ. Ekpere a bịara gị site na nkwado ndị Love Bite Foods and Beverage Limited Nnobi, ndị na-alụpụta Love Bite Bread nọ na nọmba 1 Nwotu Mmadụka Close, Umuru Nnobi, 081 49 82 82 54. Listen to news updates after interval and the 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. F1 FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that people are looking for a new Nigeria.
You can as well listen online via mixlr.com/GFM.
Good evening and welcome to Ebona, the 103.5 FM news update. Today, Tuesday, the 30th day of 2023, and the time is 4 minutes past the hour of 6. Martin Ifan Shuku Ekezie is my name. The headlines. Anambra children are highly talented, says Governor Soludo. The rebuilding process has begun. Governor Oti tells Abia people. Anambra Apga women leader sacked for supporting Labour Party in 2023 election. 2023 Northern presidency failed because Peter Obi left PDP. Okowa. Court admits U.S. judgment on Tinubu's alleged $460,000 forfeiture for drug crime in Obi's petition. Japanese Prime Minister sacks his son over party at official residence. Now, details. Anambra children are highly talented, says Governor Soludo. The Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, has described Anambra children as highly talented. Governor Soludo stated this during the 2023 Children's Day celebration at Dr. Alex Ekweme Square in Oka, where he charged Anambra children to be good ambassadors of the state, Nigeria, and Africa by abstaining from all social vices. The theme for this year's event is the state of the Nigerian child today, proper parenting for value, reorientation, and national consciousness. The governor reminded the children that they are the owner of tomorrow, assuring them of fighting their cause through protection and the provision of their basic needs, such as health and education. My primary goal is to pray for our children to take charge and grow up to be responsible citizens who will help build our dream for Anambra, Nigeria, and Africa. On child marriage, hawking, child labor, and child abuse, it is enshrined in the child rights law. These laws must be enforced. Child abuse is an abominable act for an Anambra child. Cultism is a threat, and we have seen its negative effects. The majority of the children and youths involved in this all die when they are young. The rebuilding process has begun. Governor Oti tells Abia people. Abia State Governor Dr. Alex Oti on Monday pledged that his administration will embark on a rebuilding process for the overall good of the people. In his inaugural speech at the Umuahia Township Stadium, the governor assured the people that the state government would be transparent and accountable in carrying out its duties. The banker-turned politician also vowed to shun every form of corruption, saying gratification is forbidden in his government. The time for the rebuilding process has begun. Transparency, accountability, and public trust shall be at the center of everything we do, Oti said. We will run a responsible and a honest government and lead by example. We will not tolerate any form of corruption or stealing of public property. Gratification and kickbacks are totally forbidden in this government. He also revealed plans by his administration to reform the civil service in the state, saying he will prioritize the workforce for efficiency and professionalism. According to the newly inaugurated governor, the Abia State civil service shall run differently under his administration. Oti explained that as part of measures to unmask ghost workers in the civil service, the state government will embrace technology. The move, he stated, is to determine those who had been genuinely employed and those who are actively stealing from the public treasury. He added, merit shall take prominence, and only those who demonstrated requisite diligence in the discharge of their duties shall remain in the service. Technology will be used to support the civil service in the state. We propose to use technology to enable all Abia State employees, including myself, to work from anywhere to achieve operational efficiency and enhance productivity. Anambra, Abga women leader sacked for supporting Labour Party in 2023 election. Anambra State government has allegedly sacked the women's leader of Ebenebe community in Oka North local government area, Mrs. Favor Nwora, for supporting the Labour Party, her candidates in the last election. Nwora was sacked as the women president general of Ebenebe Town Union Women Wing, ETUWW, last month on the allegation that she appeared severally at Labour Party rallies and also wore their vest. The sack has sparked off protests in the community as women of the community has taken to the streets calling for her reinstatement. In protest staged in the community at the weekend, Mrs. Florence Nnatu, who led the protesters, accused some leaders of the community of having a hand in the crisis that caused division among the women. We are calling on our community leaders, our husbands, who have a hand in this crisis that is dividing their wives, to remove their hands from it, Nnatu said. The sacked women leader, Mrs. Favor Nwora, while speaking to journalists, admitted to have supported candidate of the Labour Party for House of Assembly position. She said, I supported Labour Party and the House of Assembly candidate, Onwuje, because he is my husband and always by my side. Abga candidate never called me even once, talk more of coming to me as his woman PG. Even though I am from the same world with him, I remain an APGA member and I work for APGA and Soludo during the 2021 governorship elections. I couldn't sleep because I know what I did for APGA and Soludo. I used my money, my products, and my strength, time for my party, APGA, to make sure Soludo won. I visited all the wards in Okanot to make sure women votes count. Newsmen gathered that a new women leader, Mrs. Josephine Okafor, has been appointed in place of Nwora by the Anambra State Commissioner for Women Affairs, Mrs. Ifi Obinabo. (2023) Northern presidency failed because Peter Obi left PDP, Okowa. The outgoing Delta State governor and the 2023 vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Ifeanyi Okowa, has stated that a Northerner could have succeeded President Muhammadu Buhari if Peter Obi didn't leave the PDP. According to Okowa, the PDP had analyzed and concluded on how to present a Northern candidate with a Southern running mate as the best way to counter the All Progressive Congress APC from getting massive block votes in the 2023 elections. The party threw its presidential ticket open with a former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, eventually emerging as the PDP candidate. However, the Delta State governor said the decision of Obi to join the race for the ticket of Southeast and religious sentiments and his eventual decision to dump the party for the Labour Party affected the votes of the PDP. He made the submission during a chat with journalists on Sunday in Asaba. According to Okowa, the Northern presidency would have succeeded if Obi didn't leave the PDP. I belong to the PDP, and as for me as a person, and for the majority of the people in the PDP, they believe that our pathway to victory was to have a Northern candidate and a Southern vice, he said. Why? Because we are not a majority. The only thing that turned our reasoning out was when Obi came out from the Southeast, and there were a lot of feelings that came in among the Christians. So he ate very deep into our votes, and that is what led to the loss of the elections. Okowa added. Court admits U.S. judgment on Tinubu's alleged $460,000 forfeiture for drug crime in Obi's petition. The Presidential Election Petition Court on Tuesday in Abuja admitted in evidence a United States of America USA District Court judgment which reportedly indicted Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and ordered his forfeiture of $460,000 in a drug-related offenses. The certified true copy of the judgment was tendered by a witness, Barrister Lawrence Uchechukwu Nnanna Nwaka Iti, at the commencement of hearing of a petition filed by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, against the election of Tinubu, led in evidence by Mr. Jibrin Okutepe, a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN. The witness tendered the court's judgment as part of request by Obi and Labour Party to get Tinubu's declaration as winner of the February 25th, 2023 presidential election nullified and set aside. However, Tinubu and the All Progressive Congress, APC, announced that they have objections against admission of the judgment, but reserve their objections to final address stage. Under cross-examination by Chief Wolo Olanipekun San, who stood for President Tinubu, the witness admitted that the judgment was not registered in Nigeria. The Anambra-based legal practitioner who was Obi's first witness also admitted there was no certificate from any consular in Nigeria or America in support of the judgment, but insisted that the judgment speaks for itself. He claimed to have been to the US and read the judgment in its entirety, adding that he would be surprised if no mention was made of a $460,000 forfeiture. Also, under cross-examination by counsel to the APC, Prince Lateef Fagbemi San, the witness said that the American court judgment had no certificate given under the hand of any American police officer. He denied knowledge of a February 4, 2003 formal clearance report by legal attaché from American embassy in respect of the alleged indictment and forfeiture. When asked by Fagbemi San to produce a copy of the charges against Tinubu, the witness admitted not having any, but maintained that the indictment and forfeiture are from civil proceedings. Meanwhile, the presiding justice of the court, Justice Haruna Simon Samani, has shifted further hearing in the petition till May 31st. Now we move over to the foreign scene. Japanese Prime Minister sacks his son over party at official residence, the son of Fumio Kishida. The Japanese Prime Minister will resign as his aide after using his father's official residence for a private gathering. The party was exposed in magazine photos that showed Satoru Kishida pretending to hold a news conference at the podium where the Prime Minister usually stands, triggering public outrage. Mr. Kishida told reporters that his son would step down as his secretary from Thursday, saying the change was due to inappropriate behavior at the official residence. His behavior at a public space was inappropriate as someone who is in an official position as political aide. I've decided to replace him for accountability, Mr. Kishida said. Mr. Kishida acknowledged that he had briefly greeted the guests, but said he did not stay at the dinner party. He said he severally reprimanded his son for the party, but has failed to quell ongoing criticisms from opposition lawmakers and public outrage, which have pushed down his support ratings. Seiji Osaka, a senior lawmaker with Japan's largest opposition party, the Constitutional Democratic Party of Japan, said the dismissal should have come earlier, according to Kyodo news agency. This is too late. I suspect Mr. Kishida appointed someone who is not capable of being the prime minister's aide to the post, Mr. Osaka was quoted as saying. This is where we draw the curtain on news update on Ebona at the 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Anambra children are highly talented, says Governor Soludo. The rebuilding process has begun, Governor Uti tells Abia people. Anambra, Abga women leader sacked for supporting Labour Party in 2023 election. 2023 Northern presidency failed because Peter Obi left PDP, Okowa. Court admits U.S. judgment on Tinubu's alleged $460,000 forfeiture for drug crime in Obi's petition. Japanese Prime Minister sacks his son over party at official residence. You just listened to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. News produced and read by Martin Ifanjuku Ekeze. Thank you for listening to Ebona, the 103.5 FM news update. Once again, good evening.
Listen to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM immediately after Angeles, 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebona FM brings the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are looking for a new Nigeria,
you can as well listen online via mixlr.com/GistFM. How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebona FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be.
Government.
Street report is here to make sense of it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community, Street report is here with hardcore journalists to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifanjuku number the first every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebona, the 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds in your face. On Ebona, the corner 24/7, 24/7. Ladies and gentlemen,
Tighten your seatbelt as we take you on this smooth ride.
let's go! It's the morning drive on 103.5 Ebona FM, keeping your morning engaging as we take you through the smoothest ride on radio from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
Getting your morning inspired, be informed. Let's interact only on the morning drive.
Make it a date with Martin Ifanjuku, aka Meta, from Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. on the morning drive. 103.5 all day, every day. Who's bad? Hit it!
Okay, guys, like, subscribe.